something was happening to one of my best friends. He was very depressed, although things were going well for him. He had a good job, and he was in a good relationship. His family cared about him, but every time we talked, he sounded down and out. With all the success in his life, he still couldn't help feeling that something was missing. We weren't as close as we were after we graduated, but every time we talked, I could hear the pain in his voice. He would say everything was fine between him and his girlfriend. He had gotten a promotion at his job. He had just returned from a family vacation, but I could tell something was wrong. Something was off. I knew it was time to talk to him about something I've been thinking about a lot and that I had been putting into practice in my everyday life. My friend needed to know about the single most important thing that I've been working on for my success. My friend had everything, and he now needed to know about the importance of Stoic wisdom in everyday life. So I took a deep breath and started. "Listen, man," I said. "I know things seem good on the surface, but I can hear the hollowness in your voice. I've been there, chasing achievements thinking they'd fill the void, but it never works." He sighed, admitting he felt empty, like he was just going through the motions. That's when I introduced him to the Stoic teachings of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. I explained how they valued focusing on your own inner strength, accepting external circumstances beyond your control, and letting go of desires that cause suffering. It wasn't an easy sell at first. He argued it sounded passive, but I countered with their emphasis on virtue, on facing challenges with courage and reason, on finding purpose in things bigger than yourself. We talked about practicing mindfulness, reframing negative thoughts, and focusing on actions you can control. It wasn't a one-time conversation. We had many debates, shared books and quotes, and even tried Stoic meditations together. Slowly, I saw a shift. He started acknowledging his emotions without being consumed by them. He learned to appreciate the good moments without obsessing over the future. He found meaning in contributing to his community, not just climbing the corporate ladder. What about the importance of Stoic wisdom in everyday life? Stoicism is a philosophy that has stood the test of time and has a lot to offer in terms of personal growth and resilience. In our modern world, it's easy to get caught up in the ups and downs of life. We face a lot of challenges, setbacks, and disappointments on a daily basis. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and to detach ourselves from what we can't control, such as external circumstances. This shift in perspective gives us the power to face challenges with a calmer and more rational mindset. Stoicism also encourages resilience, gratitude, and self-reflection. It teaches us to approach difficulties with equanimity, which means having a calm mental state that can occur after a shock, disappointment, or in a difficult situation. To appreciate what we have, and to focus on our own character and virtues. By following these principles, we can live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. My friend and I thought about these 7 key principles and how they affected our lives from day to day. The first thing we talked about was to focus on what you can control. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between the things we have control over and those we don't. External events, other people's actions, and certain circumstances are beyond our control. Instead of wasting energy and becoming emotionally invested in these uncontrollable factors, Stoicism advises us to focus on our own thoughts, attitudes, and actions. By directing our efforts towards what we can control, we can make a positive impact on our lives. This can help reduce stress and anxiety. For example, if you're worried about the weather, a Stoic would remind themselves that they can't control it and focus on what they can control, like their attitude and actions. As the ancient Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not." The second thing we thought about was how to practice negative visualization. Stoics advocate for practicing negative visualization, which involves imagining the loss or absence of the things we value. By envisioning the worst-case scenarios, we gain a deeper appreciation for what we currently have. This exercise helps us cultivate gratitude, reduce attachment to material possessions, and develop resilience in the face of potential loss. Seneca, one of the prominent Stoic philosophers, said, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you'll live on the cheapest food and wear rough clothes. Ask yourself, is this the condition I feared?" Number 3. Acceptance of the present moment. Stoicism tells us that it's important to accept the present moment as it is, instead of wishing for a different reality. We often cause ourselves unnecessary pain by fighting against things that are out of our control. By accepting the present moment with equanimity, we can find inner peace and focus on making the most of our circumstances. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness in your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. So guard your thoughts carefully and make sure you don't entertain any ideas that are unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature." Number 4 was something we both had to work on a lot. Practicing self-discipline. Stoicism places a lot of value on self-discipline and mastering your desires and impulses. It teaches us to resist the temptation to give in to our immediate desires and to act in accordance with reason and virtue. By practicing self-discipline, we can make choices that are in line with our values and long-term goals, which leads to personal growth and a sense of integrity. In the words of the Stoic philosopher Epictetus, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Number 5. Embrace adversity and challenges. Stoics believe that facing challenges and adversity is an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. Rather than shying away from difficulties, Stoicism encourages us to embrace them. We can reframe obstacles as valuable learning experiences and opportunities for character development, which helps us navigate them with resilience and emerge stronger on the other side. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely stated, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor strengthens the body." Number 6. My friend asked me, how can we develop wisdom and virtue? Stoicism is all about becoming a better person. It encourages us to develop virtues like courage, justice, wisdom, temperance, and compassion. When we live in accordance with these virtues, we live a more meaningful and virtuous life, and we also help others. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once shared his insight on this matter, saying, "No greater thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." Number 7. Stoicism teaches us to adopt a broader perspective and consider the grand scheme of things. When faced with challenges or setbacks, Stoics remind themselves of the impermanence of situations and the insignificance of individual events in the grand tapestry of life. This practice helps us maintain a sense of calm and avoid becoming overwhelmed by temporary hardships. For example, if you're feeling stressed about a work project, a Stoic might remind themselves that the project is just one small part of their life and that it will eventually be over. They might also remind themselves that they have the skills and experience to complete the project and that they will be able to learn from any mistakes they make. This broader perspective can help to put the situation in context and make it seem less daunting. Is Stoic wisdom important in everyday life? Stoic wisdom can be extremely valuable in everyday life. It provides practical guidance and principles that can help people navigate challenges, cultivate resilience, and find inner peace. By embracing Stoic wisdom, people can develop a mindset and perspective that promotes personal growth, emotional well-being, and virtuous living. Even though we were both intensely busy, my friend and I made sure to take some time to reflect and discuss what we learned over the next few months. It wasn't a magical cure, but it was a turning point. He wasn't suddenly bursting with joy, but there was a calmness about him, a quiet acceptance of life's ups and downs. He rediscovered the passion that had gone dormant in the pursuit of external validation. Seeing the change in him, I realized the real importance of Stoic wisdom. It wasn't about being emotionless or indifferent. It was about being present, resilient, and finding purpose in something beyond yourself. It wasn't a guarantee of happiness, but it was a powerful tool to navigate the inevitable struggles of life with a clear head and a strong heart. And that, ultimately, was the most important thing I could share with my friend. The importance of Stoic wisdom wasn't in the abstract pronouncements of ancient philosophers, but in the practical tools it offered to build inner strength and face the world with equanimity. It was the difference between simply existing and truly living, and that, I knew, was a gift worth sharing. To my new friends here, feel free to like and subscribe so we can continue to learn new ways for living not only a better life, but also to have the best possible outcomes for almost any situation. I will see you in the comments. Let me know how you're doing, okay?